All right, guys, hello and welcome back to another siege battle. And yes, you guessed it, it's another one of mine. Lichter here with something special today. We have a port battle. This one I hosted actually, and I hosted this after I had played a port battle, and I thought, hey, you know what? These don't get done enough. I feel like I never see port battles. So I decided to go and try and do one myself. Host one and then attack. So we're here at Athens, the gleaming city, shining example of democracy. And the players that we have today are, we'll start with the attackers, of course, because we can't really see the defenders all that much. But attacking, we have Joe Ninja Sniper as Sparta. Then way over here, we have myself as Masacely. And then we have Neo Mei as Athens. Defending, we have Tickle Monster as Athens. A bit of a civil war going on. Tatiana Nikolavina as Macedon. And Paul Blart Mallcop as Carthage. Now, before I start, I'm going to say this, and I've said it before, I'll say it again. If a match isn't going your way, and you're not happy with the way it's going, don't leave. Alright? At some point, Sparta does drop out of the game because either he lost connection, or I think more than likely he started to get a little salty because he couldn't break through. And also, follow the rules that are laid forth by the host, and you'll see why I mean that. So now to get into the army cops, I set the funds a little bit high so that we could afford some ships for those who wanted to bring them. Myself, I have four desert cohort, it looks like, and 4 desert legionaries, 1 slave infantry, and 2 Numidian light infantry, along with the African giant ballista. I have 2 of the Numidian heavy skirmishers and 2 slave slingers, or tribal slingers, my bad. And then over here, I brought with me 3 Numidian noble infantry assault ships, which, well, you'll see. And as for the defenders, this is all that we can see at the moment. Athens has 3 firepot diaries. Slash, I guess, militia hoplites. And then Carthage has 1 Carthaginian hoplite. Looks like 2 Libyan infantry. Another Carthaginian hoplite, actually, and then Libyan javelin men. So, yeah, let's get this right underway. So immediately, I mean, you know how it works. When you start a match, the units just appear. Immediately start to shift my ships over. I'm going to tell you right now, this doesn't end well for my ship. So early on, I don't have a general. The general unit actually manages to make it almost to the shore, but then unfortunately, I managed to take out 2 of Carthage's ships. Actually, I think I get to take out another one. Yep, almost. That fire damage just comes in. I mean, look at that. The damage is already up to 87, 88, 89. I don't know why. I guess the fire just burns continually, unfortunately. And now these guys are just going to try and make their way downtown, walking fast. Over here, these 2 firepot ships absolutely annihilated these guys, and it's going to be pretty much game over for these ships. Now over here, you can see some of Macedon's troops, 2 javelin men, 3 javelin men. I'm gonna say this right now. Macedon was definitely a new player. So I can see that they have 2 pikemen right up front. And I'm going to say that, looks like, what do they got over here? Mercenary Iberian swords. I'm going to say right off the bat, our first mistake was the 2 of us just attacking. I mean, Athens or Sparta should have been over here with us. But deciding to attack this right here, I mean, this is just, it's 2 choke points. We should have put pressure over here too. So that was our fault. Back over here, Sparta is moving up his troops. He's got a slew of tortoises creeping up towards the walls. It looks like Sparta might have been a little new too, because all of his troops are lined up as such. I mean, if Athens had had the foresight, I mean, come on. I would have, oh, jeez, could you imagine? Turn this ballista immediately and then just knock them all down like a bowling ball. Sparta looks like he brought... Oh, I didn't get into his comps, actually. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 Spartan hoplites, 2 Spartan pikemen, and then 1, 2, 3, 3 real Spartans. Wow, I just blanked out for a second. And again, I'm going to say 2 heroes of Sparta. Yeah. Ranged, he has 2 Helot archers. Yeah, that's it. Just 2 Helot archers. And then he brought with him Cav. Which, you know, all they get is Citizen Cav. It's like the worst Cav in the game, kind of. And then he just has his pikemen and his Spartan hoplites over here just hanging out. Athens, we can start to see some of their thorax swords, 3. So 3 thorax swords so far. 1, 2 hoplites, I'm going to say. Archers and mercenary Cretans. 2 pikemen. No, 1 pikeman, 1 Thurio spear. Here we go. Epeius lancers. Another unit of Cretans. Another Cretan. Thorax swords, hoplites. So Sparta is going to have a tough time. And already, I mean, he's not... Move your troops up. Got to back up your initial assaulting troops, right? Back over here. I'm just getting in shots with my ballista, absolutely just ripping through Macedon's pikes, which 1 pike, 2 pike, 3 pike, 4 pike, 5 pikes. How many pikes are allowed in a match usually? How many? Say it with me. 2. So again, they had to have been new, and they didn't know what they were doing. They didn't ask what 1, 2, 4 meant. So, but managed to get my troops here into column formation and sneak around. I managed to catch these pikes out of pike phalanx. Now I'm just going to charge in, get into the back of these guys. Libyan javelin men came in. They were the guys on the ship. And now this fight's basically underway. This is going to be one hell of a choke point over here. We've got 16 minutes left in the game already. Slingers doing slinger things because they just, you know, they can't do what you want them to. Back over here, Athens is doing their damnedest to punch through Macedon. Pikes out of formation. They're going to lose quickly. These guys over here starting to rout. Getting into the javelin men. Getting into the back of the hoplites. Looks like we have Royal Peltis up in the front already. Mercenary Iberian swords. What else do they have? They have a bunch of Thessalian cav too. Which, on defense, excuse me, it's not really something that I would bring. Back over here, I mean, Citizen Cav just getting wrecked. He's going to try and get a Citizen Cav through. I think he got accused of pushing through as well. But Sparta's just having a really tough time. And then he cut and run. He left. He left the game. And then when that happened, the computer took over, and the computer actually gave Athens a run for their money. So back over here, we can see the Carthaginian general disappearing into the mist, so to speak. Looks like we have noble fighters, more Iberian swordsmen. And now we're just slogging along over here. And at this point, it's all about finding tiny little gaps that we can exploit. Looks like Athens is going to say, screw with these hoplites. It's going to charge into the back. I didn't go over his fucking army comps either. Jesus Christ. I'm sorry, guys. All right, so he has 2 Epeius Lancers. 1, 2, 3... 3 thorax swords, 3, 4, 5 thorax swords. He has archers, mercenary Cretans, and Cretans. His general is, let's see, a unit of pikes. Where is his general, actually? Oh, over here. Epeius Lancers. And then the rest is just hoplites. Thorax hoplites, and that's it. I don't think he has any picked hoplites, actually. Which is surprising. You usually at least see, like, 1. So he came over here to capture this hour tower. I think he probably thought that there was a way down here. Unfortunately, there's not. It would have been nice, because he could have came down and gotten into the back of these units. Macedon's charging in their Thessalian cav. Charging in his javelinmen, because they're out of ammo already. Back into the rear of these... desert legionaries, but I mean that's going to be a fight that they lose pretty quickly. So at this point, this is just a hard choke point to break. I pulled back some of my units and set them up on the side here so they could get in some good javelin shots on the sides of these Royal Peltists as they're dealing with the Thorax Hoplites and the Desert Cohort. Hoplites are losing decisively. Managed to charge in these Desert Legionaries because there was a gap here for just a second. But he charged in his Iberian swordsman. But look at this. Now he's pulling them back because I'm being held up by these hoplites. I can't really push through. Not that I would, because that's something you don't do. Carthage pushed forward some of his Libyan infantry. Carthaginian hoplites in the thick of it. These are the guys that are on the ship that came down. Thorax swords losing, unfortunately. But these 2 units of Thorax swords, along with my Desert Legionaries, should be able to deal with the Libyan infantry slowly but surely. Now, if I was Macedon at this point, I would have had the Thessalian cav in, I guess, in a diamond formation it would be. Yeah, diamond formation. And I'd just be cycle charging this back and forth, 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 back and forth. Instead, you see that he's pushing his cav through. I had to call him out on that. I think I had to call Athens out, too, on pushing through his cav. Because he didn't get a good enough charge. In my opinion, and this is what I've heard, you know, if you get a good enough charge on cav that knocks down enough guys, then you can pull through. But if you don't get that, then it's a no-go. So now we've broken this left flank over here. Unfortunately, my general's dead, so I can't use his ability to get some of these guys out of their exhausted state. But we have the arrow tower, so we're just kind of chilling at the moment. Just taking some shots at the Cretans over here. Athens is actually going to take some of these units and get them up on towers and then move them over here. In hindsight, he should have taken this tortoise and came over here to knock down this wall with these remaining units, and then that would have forced Carthage and Macedon to shift troops over. So now that this side is more or less broken, we're really going to start to focus on trying to crack this nut over here. Unfortunately, the problem is, now that Sparta has left the match and the AI is taken over, Athens is just going to do what they need to do to crush the rest of them and quickly as he possibly can to shift his units back over here. You can already see 2 of the militia hoplites, I think 3 actually from those fire pot ships, coming over to back up his allies. Back over here, just letting my desert cohort throw their Pila. Reality, I probably should have saved these as much as possible and charged them in. My slingers still have ammo. My heavy Numidian skirmishers are out, of course. Here it is. So this is where you'll start to see the cav push through a little bit. And then someone on the defending team says something, and I agree. You know, don't push through. Doesn't matter if it's your team or somebody else's. Just don't do it. But look at this right here. They're starting to form a little bit of a gap, and the best way, if you want to make sure that there is actually a gap here, hover your cursor over the units, the defending units. You know, if you hover it over there, a little like red circle will pop up beneath them, and then you can kind of determine where his troops are. And if none of his troops are too close, there'll be enough, there'll be enough of a gap, and your troops won't get caught on his, because that's what ends up happening, right? You get them in the column formation, you try and charge your troops through, and then your troops end up getting like hitched. It's like you're getting snagged on a nail that's sticking out of a door, or out of the wall, or when you're trying to hardly walk through a doorway and your belt loop gets caught on a door. That's like the best way that I can describe it. So here you can see Athens is starting to move over some of his troops to get on some of these siege towers to get up here. Carthage, actually, I don't know how he did it, but he managed to get his Bastion Ballista crew disengaged and got them down over here. They didn't break either. Like, he took them off, it seemed like. I meant to ask him that, but I never got around to it. Back over here real quick, you can see, I mean, Athens is just absolutely dismantling Sparta. And again, it all comes down to the Spartan player not reinforcing his troops. I think he definitely, I think there definitely is a thing as opening up too many breach points. Pick one. Pick a wall. You know what I mean? Like, I would say if you're going to attack this side of the wall, stick with this. Stick with this wall here and these walls over here, because you don't want to attack this, because you'll get stuck in this choke point right here, right? And if you attack this right here, any of this wall section, again, they'll hem you in. You know, you try coming through, and then they could just set up on either side of you, and you're fucked. Got to give credit to the computer, though. It is managing to break some of his units, but not nearly enough that it's going to make a difference for us. So again, like I said before, we made the mistake of just the 2 of us assaulting this one area. I made the mistake, too, of having my general unit on a ship. I probably should not have done that. I mean, shit, maybe I shouldn't have even had any ships, and that would have been like a sneaky thing to do, so to speak, you know what I mean? To fake out the defenders into wasting units on naval units, and then we would have had more land units. So keep that in mind, too. If you ever are in a port assault, and you're attacking or you're defending, keep in mind that you don't necessarily need to bring ships. I mean, yeah, it's definitely fun, but, people want to win, too. So anyway, back at it. Now, we've taken this area, but now we have a tough nut to crack. So we have, what do we got here? Libyan infantry backed up by Iberian swords, a small unit of Royal Peltasts. These small unit of Numidian light infantry. I'm trying to sneak by as quickly as I can. I want to get to his archers over here. Unfortunately, Macedon noticed, ran his Peltasts in, so I said, fuck it, did a countercharge real quick. But these Numidian light infantry, they're going to be shown off the field of battle soon. Back over here, Libyan infantry, Peltasts, noble fighters, Carthaginian hoplites, Iberian swords, a depleted unit of Libyan infantry, Thessalian cav, and African pikemen still. My one slinger unit got eviscerated by the Cretans that are up here. Keep in mind that you can get up here. Unfortunately, I wish that I still had ammo in my ballista because I would have attacked this. Keep in mind that these buildings can be destroyed. And it doesn't take a lot to knock them down either. So now it's just we're trying to do something here. So at this point, I'm just trying to sort of create a gap here. I'm waiting for the right opportunity. I'm going to try and get my Numidian skirmishers in the column formation, sneak them through, and I want to try and get up on this to take out these Cretans, or at least silence them for the time being, so that we're not getting hammered, because his archers just got beat up, unfortunately. So now I moved my slingers away from where his Cretans were, because they were just getting shot to shit. And also, I wanted to try and do what I could. So it looks like I'm starting to focus down his Athens' archers over here. Carthage still hasn't moved his pikemen over, and now Athens over here is completely taking care of Sparta, and they're just going to start shifting troops. So the situation is really, really dire for us. 4 minutes and 15 seconds left in the match. See, now I'm going to try and sneak through, but I think it didn't work. And I just charge them in instead. Move up some desert cohort to support the center that's breaking. And also to throw some Pila. And I'm just going to charge them in so that these Royal Peltas don't come charging through. Because realistically, there was a gap here. And if the Mastodon had been paying attention, he could have just charged right through. Or she, I should say. I was starting to move the foot companion over slowly but surely. I said to them, I better not see the pikes come out on that, because you had 3 pikes up front that had their pikes out. Carthage's African pikemen have finally moved up, and this is going to just pose a giant problem. My slingers are going to start to focus down. Stetzer cohort got into the rear lines. There was a gap there, or that they followed the Numidian light infantry through, but unfortunately they just got destroyed. So here you go. You see the heavy Numidian skirmishers coming back. They're going to try and go through this gap here. I'm sending in my Desert Legionaries first to try and catch these Carthaginian hoplites, and there's still a little bit of a gap. It's not much, but look, I don't have to click a lot, so I'm not pushing them through. They're actually filtering through my Desert Legionaries, and now I'm getting them over here. Again, if Macedon had been paying attention, these Thessalian calves could have taken this out. But now Carthage is going to get his archers down off the walls, and I'm going to charge in and just try and take care of them if I can. Back over here, it's not looking good. My slingers are still firing, trying to shoot into these pikes and deal with them as best as I possibly can. But I mean, Athens is just slowly but surely coming over to reinforce this area. And for the most part, it's pretty much game over. At one point, you know, we were making some good headway, and I really thought that we had it. But unfortunately, they put up a good defense. And again, like I said, we chose a poor spot to attack. I would not suggest attacking this spot unless, you know, you have someone over here to attack. Athens did manage to get a unit of thorax swordsmen up here to deal with these militia hoplites, which isn't going to be a problem. These mercenary Cretans are going to come. And looks like they're out of ammo. Yep, they're going to come and get a rear charge on these thorax hoplites, but it looks like he might countercharge. Athens, meanwhile, he's moving his... Oh, he does have picked hoplites. He's moving his pikemen, his picked hoplites. Honestly, they probably should have been here a lot sooner, and we probably would have had a little bit of a better time. Now it looks like my slingers are getting focused down. They're still firing into the mass over here to try and deal with these African pikemen. Smart move by Carthage, pulling back his Libyan hoplites, and just letting the pikes deal with the 4 of us here, actually. And then over here, we're just slowly starting to break. My Desert Legionaries and are holding on for dear life, but it's not going to be enough. And then I think at one point, the Athenian player also left the game. My Athenian ally left the game. You'll see probably the Payas Lancers start to charge in. This is Jen. Yeah, I mean, he could, if he had gotten these Payas Lancers, again, if he had gotten the Payas Lancers in here, he could have been doing cycle charges to deal with them. Yeah, he left, and then I conceded because there was no point in waiting for them to deal with Athens's units. So, on the replay, get into the kills. Start with myself. I got 1,708 kills. This is a colossal waste of money, but you know, I just think that port battles are really cool, and you don't get to see stuff like them enough. So, my ballista to 86, my Numidian skirmishers. I love these units. 104, 158. Slingers did slinger things. Desert Cohort 37, 94, 172, 283, and then my Desert Legionaries 106, 198, 51. The Numidian Light Infantry 85 and 130, and then the Slave Infantry 2, but it's Slave Infantry. Joe Ninja Sniper, who decided to leave. I'm gonna have to attribute most of these kills to the PC, to the AI. 1,045. His general got 148. Citizen Cat is not even worth mentioning because they're just trash cavalry. His one unit of Hella archers got 1 kill. The other got 14. The other, here's a Sparta unit. Sad, 49. Real Spartans, 29, 127. Not bad, 80. And then Spartan Hoplites, 15, 17. 59, 54, 98, 15, 26, 6, 54, and then his pikes, 32 and 197. Neo May got 1,421 kills. His Payas Lancers, only 17. That's disappointing. His archers, 24, 26, 16, or 28, 16, and 116. Thorax swords, 141, 131, 91, 119, 110. Not bad. Thorio spears, 96, 115, 67, 103. It's pretty good, actually, for Thorio spears. His one unit of picked hoplites got 107 kills. The other one only got 0 because he didn't get him in there. Same with the other unit of pikes. And then his other unit of pikemen got 138 kills. So now Tickle Monster got 2,000, actually doing better than everybody, 2,574 kills. Well done. His unit of Payas Lancers, 100 kills. His Citizen Cav, 102. And his other unit of Payas Lancers, 59. I will say this. Citizen Cav generally are trash, but if you can support them, or if they can get into archer units, which is probably what happened here, then yeah, of course they're going to do good. But I mean, light infantry can do well against archers. Probably not the Sumerian heavy archers, but you know what I mean. Militia hoplites, these were the fire pot ships, 10, 22, and 5. Ooh. His archers, his just regular archers, 129 kills, very good. Cretans, 207, 126, 252. His hoplites, 174. Picked hoplite unit got 164. Oh, wow, look at that. His one unit of pikemen got 457 kills. Very good. Other unit got 130. Thorax swords, 113, 183, 82, and 98. And then his one unit of Thorio spears did 161 kills. That's pretty good, actually. Tatiana Nikolaevna. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If you're watching this by any chance, 1, 2, 4 are the standard rules. 1 artillery, 2 pikes, 4 archers. I'll chalk it up to the fact that you're probably new. So I'll have to let it slide this time. General unit didn't do anything because didn't need to. Thessalian Cav, 56, 19. Javelin men, interesting choice, I have to say. 34, 33, 29. I would say, personally, I don't think javelin are worth it unless you can get them into the rear, and then that's when it would be worth it to use these. Foot companion, well, yeah, she didn't use them because she didn't have to, and she shouldn't have, even if she was going to. Hoplites, 49, 53, 36, 91. These pikes, 5, 102, 79, and then the Royal Peltas doing really well, 148 and 145. And then Paul Blart Mole Clop. Paul Blart Mole Clop. 2,226 kills. General, not having to do anything, didn't get any. Carthaginian hoplites, assault assault Tetris, no kills. I think they got sunk immediately. Actually, I crashed into them. These Carthaginian hoplites, 53, Libyan javelinmen, 11, and again another interesting choice because I think that they get regular archers. I could be wrong. Fire pots, nothing. His Cretans, 256, 229, 143, really good. African pikes, 354 kills, awesome. Late Carthaginian hoplites, 169, nice. And 59 Libyan infantry, 167, 89, 69, 116 and 181. His Iberian swordsman, 53, 109, and then his one unit of mercenary noble fighters that looks like they didn't lose anybody, got 148 kills. So, I have a couple other port battles actually stashed away that I'll be happy to show you guys in due course. In the meantime, if you like what you guys are seeing, don't forget to like, subscribe, share with your friends, family, strangers. My Discord is linked in the description below. Please feel free to join. And if you got replays of your own that you want to see, drop them in there, and I promise you that I will get to everyone's. It might take me some time, but slowly and surely I will get to each and every one of your replays so that you can have your 15 minutes of fame, or an hour, depending on how long your battle lasts. Until that time, this is Lichter saying peace out, and be cool to each other. I was going to say, what is it Bill and Ted say? I forget. Let me know in the comments below what the Bill and Ted thing is. Be excellent. Be excellent to each other. Peace out and be excellent to each other. Later.